tag team wrestling. What do you want to see more involved when you watch a tag team match?
You know, when it really comes down to right now, there's really only two places in America to work, you know, that has any kind of, and there's really only one, you know, and they've taken, which I think is psychology-wise, like probably one of the best matches on the card, the tag match. You know, because you can always beat your champ in a tag match. There's so many things you can do in a tag match you can't do in a singles. Yet it's been treated as filler for so many years now. You know, there's always talk that we're just going to abolish tag wrestling. And to me, it's just like, God, it's brutal. For me, I wanted, like, they have made rulings, like when I was up in the WWE, when I went back, like you couldn't make a hard save. You know, like you could make a save on a cover.
Or heel or face?
No, you could make a save. You had to. I mean, it was like, and I was just like. But if you ever watch the old AWA tapes, it's one of the, and I don't know if they must have had some kind of a ruling where they couldn't make a hard save because the guy always comes in and just grabs a guy that's making the cover by the ankle and pulls him off. And when you watch it, it like really makes a lot more sense because 9 times out of 10 when you make a hard save on somebody, you drop an elbow or you drop whatever on somebody, but you never break up the guy's still flat on his back. You smash him, but he's still, you know, still if it's 1-2, it's still actually a 3. The referee just doesn't have. But you know, like little things in tag, like if you're a heel tag team, like things that I don't see anymore is everybody does a spot where they stop the baby face in the middle, and they go over and they taunt, you know, the other, you know, they taunt the baby face, and you know, draws a ref, and the guy pulls them over, and they get heat on him. Well, what we used to do a lot of times, and Scott and I would do it, was as the guy would, you would turn your back to the baby face in the corner who was trying to get the tag, and then you just turn around and blast him, and then go through the ropes and stay on the guy that's on the outside. So now it's, you know, you're getting heat on this guy, you let him lay in, turn around, this guy's, you know, waiting for the tag, and then you know, but the psychology is different than just the same old, you know, tired, you know, just try to think of things that are unusual. But, you know, there's always been that analogy of, you know, things shoot, but making it work. Like, what would you do? You know, it's because the style has changed so much, you know, I always look at things like, when I broke in the business, my psychology was, if this was real, how would I work? Well, I'm bigger than most people, I'm stronger than most people, but I'm not as fast as most people. So what I'm going to do is what they teach you in boxing is basically I'm going to cut the ring down. I'm going to eventually use this ropes and that rope to push you into a corner so I can get you in the corner and pound on you. Because I can't chase you, I can't, you know, like, you know, it's basically the psychology of Frankenstein or Jason or Michael Myers or whoever you grew up with. But, you know, that kind of methodical, that's how a big guy to me should work. I think that, you know, a guy that tries to show athleticism, I remember one time, I played basketball and I had good hops and stuff, and when I first broke in, I'd do a spot where I'd send a guy off and I'd leapfrog him and I'd hit him with a big boot. And Jody Hamilton was the guy that broke me in, and he said, "Can I ask you a question?" He goes, "You're the biggest guy here, why would you avoid contact? Like, why would you jump up? Why, if he's a 200-pound guy's running into a 320-pound guy, you know, it's like a semi-truck moving out of the way of a Hyundai. You know, it's just not going to happen." So just, you know, it's just the common sense psychology of anything that you do, just make it, you'll think it through. Like, would you really, if you had somebody down in a position where you can win the belts, would you actually go to the top rope and miss a moonsault? You know, when you basically, the heels have got you basically just, you sit that and you go, okay, well, this is bogus, this is fake, because you wouldn't do that. Whereas, you know, and I think that that's where they're going. But you know, the business has gotten so where it's so spotty. You know, like the business is real spotty, and that's just, I mean, it's nobody's fault. It's just I think it's just the evolution of what's happened. But at the same time, like I can count on like I thought Hogan stole it with Vince. I thought Hogan stole WrestleMania with The Rock. You look at the matches of the guys that actually steal the Manias, it's never the guys that do it. It's always the guys that tell a story. And, you know, I don't know how many of you guys watch WrestleMania, but Shawn Michaels played such a pivotal part in what he did just on facials. Like the story that he told. And of course, you've got to know how to tell that story, and you've got to be able to tell that truck that at this point, make sure you catch my facial because I'm going to be doing this, and you have to tie all those pieces together. And that's the thing is a lot of guys are incredible technicians, but they just haven't learned. You know, I guess the old saying was, "Don't work harder, work smarter." But go back to just make it make sense, you know. But I think tags are, you know, and the thing too is, you know, economically, they always say, well, why would, you know, when me and Scott were making good money, they were always trying to split us into singles because to them, you know, for what they were paying, they were getting one match. But on the road, you know, when two guys can go 30 minutes easy every night, you know, in a tag match, back and forth, especially with Scott doing 27 minutes of it. So, I'll come in on the heat, but yeah, I mean, I think tag wrestling's amazing. Yourself a drum.